This is the one and only GM, and today I'm gonna make a review on the game Forspoken. I was able to complete this game a couple of days ago. Well, actually yesterday. Shout out to sqaureenix for the code, and let's go on and review the game. Let's go on and review this game. My thoughts on this game, honestly.
What were we supposed to be doing again?
Don't look at me.
The game has great graphics. You can see the open world looks really nice. Has really good graphics. Has a the map is pretty damn big. As you can see, is a big map with lots of side stuff to do. Lots of side stuff, as you can see. And this is the different sections of the game. So you can do all of this stuff after you beat the game, which is a lot of extra stuff. It's basically challenges, little speed run type joint. A lot of collectibles that you could collect, cats that you could go to your rest haven where you could rest, and also there's a lot of different magic attacks you can use. As you can see, the shot, this is her primary skill tree, and there's a lot more to unlock. As you can see, you got to go to the Brass Hollow section in the map and you can unlock it. So there's a lot of stuff here. And then when you beat the bosses also, you get their abilities too. So this one is they got the fire one, they got the electrical type one. You know what I'm saying? They got the water one too. So the combat is really good. Let me show y'all some of the combat. Let's fast travel somewhere, right? So it has like 4 different sections.
We're here.
That really was miraculously fast.
You can see she got different powers. This is her primary attack. You can see these are all her different attacks. You see disperse, green.
Yep.
So I'll show y'all the combat a little bit.
Wonder how long this thing's been here.
Certainly longer than.
So you see there's a lot of collectibles. One of the issues with the game though is that, as you can see, this whole open world is really big, but it's really empty. You see, there's a lot of nothing in the game.
Thing doesn't feel right.
So that's one of the issues. So this is how the combat works. You see with the magic, and you can use support stuff too, as you can see. And then you can switch it. This is the fire magic. You see?
Your skills are coming along.
And then you can switch it too. And this is.
Got one for you.
So she gets pretty OP the longer you get in the game. You see? Has a lot of different cool magic attacks and whatnot. So the game has a lot to offer in terms of like side stuff. The only issue is, as you can see, the maps are really big. You see, and it's like kind of like an RPG. That the different enemies have different weaknesses. You see, resilient, so they're not weak against that. And she's probably see different magic attacks. Displacement, that's like a fake copy of you. So you can see the combat is really cool. The combat is not bad. It's pretty simple. And you can switch it too. You can switch. So they're vulnerable against your primary attack. You see, you can set up a trap. So the combat is the best thing about the game. But like I said, as you can see, this open world is really empty. A lot of enemies though. They got parkour too. See? See, they got little parkour joints. They got this too, that you could use it to get up. Little grappling hook thing.
Oh my god, that was insane.
Just try not to fall.
That's a new ability you could do. Another thing, the dialogue is really cringe, as you can see. Also, this happens in the game too. That this whole fog comes and you gotta run to your safe house. So that's one thing that's kind of annoying with the game. That when you're in certain levels, you have to run, because if you stay there, you die. And there's a lot of enemies here too. See? There's a lot of enemies, and it's pretty crazy. So it's a big challenge type thing when this happens. Of course, you just need to go to the safe haven. So you see, the combat is pretty straightforward with the game. Just want to show you guys the combat a little bit. You can do the special moves too. Every different skill has a ultra that you press with the 2 top buttons. So honestly, this game, and you can also upgrade your stuff. You see, you can upgrade your cloak and all types of stuff too. You can add effects too with the upgrades, which is pretty cool. Little RPG elements to it. See that? Upgrade the cloak. You can also craft things too, which is ingredients to craft more stuff. And you can see that I got the little cat there. That's a collectible. There's a lot of collectibles in the game. There's also gear, which is like the necklaces and the cloaks that have all different types of stuff that works for you. You see? All different attributes. The same with the necklaces too. And then also you can upgrade your abilities too.
About time you learned something new.
But you have to do challenges to unlock. You see? Inflict piercing attack on 2 enemies, and I got 16 out of 20. So you can do that with pretty much all the abilities. See how this one enhanced is because I did the challenges. So each magic ability has specific challenges that you can do that'll upgrade the magic even more. So you see, I have to defeat 15 enemies, cut and run. So with all her different magic joints, she has stuff like that. So that's the best thing about the game, is literally the combat. The combat is the best thing about the game.
This looks like it'll...
And she also has nails too. The nails is also, you see different stuff. Attack spells charge more quickly, healing items, support. So there's a lot of stuff to the game. And there's also a lot of resources, of course, that you collect throughout the world. And these are the different enemies in the game. As you can see, there's not a lot of different enemy types in the game. A lot of enemies are very, very similar, as you can see. A lot of the same type of enemies. So that's one issue I could say with the game. The enemy the variation on enemies there's not too much variety on enemies. It's kind of like the same type of enemies. It's a decent amount, but a lot of the same, you know. Of course, these are the bosses. And this is the last boss of the game, yeah. So enemy types, you know, not too much different. Story is okay. Like, without spoiling it too much, I feel like this game would have been a lot more cooler if the whole game took place in New York. Because in New York, when you in New York in this game, the whole world is very beautiful when you're in New York. Like, it's a lot of people, there's a lot of things to do. It's just like really packed New York. It's really cool when you're in New York. It's really cool when you out there in New York. There's so much things. You can't really do a lot, but it's like not as empty as the world, if y'all get what I'm saying. The world in the game is really, there's not a lot like visually, but there's a lot of things to do. The game is very, very short. It's only 12 chapters, and if you don't do any of the side missions, you could beat this game like really, really fast. Like very, very fast. I did a couple of side missions. Let's see how long it took me to beat the game. Okay, I beat the game like in 20 hours. But that's only because I did side missions. If you just run through the game, you could beat this game like in 15 hours probably, which is really short for a $70 game. So like I said, the world looks beautiful, right? The dialogue is not very good. It's not very good in this game though. The dialogue is pretty cringe. It is. The dialogue is kind of stiff in the game. The dialogue isn't so great in this game.
Take the covers.
So that's one of the issues I have with the game. The dialogue is pretty stiff. And I can show y'all the castle I was in. But yeah, that's one issue. The dialogue and the story isn't that great. Like I said, it's basically that she was like a criminal in New York and she messed with gangs and she got arrested. And then she got these Shang-Chi type joints around her arms. And then she got transported into this world. And then in this world, there's a lot of creatures and demons. And then she finds out that she's actually part of this world. And her family's from here and stuff like that. So the story isn't like too good. It's a decent story. All in all, the game gets better the more you play it. The more you play it gets better because then you start getting like a lot of really cool abilities and stuff like that. So the combat gets better. But like I said, man, the world is pretty empty. Yes, it's a lot of things to do, but it's kind of repetitive after a while too. And the main story is really short. So if you want to really enjoy all the content of the game, you're gonna have to do all the side stuff, like the collectibles, like all the different stuff in the game, right? Like I'll show you this one. This is like a running type joint that you could do. I'll show y'all this one. It's like a parkour type thing. I think this is the parkour thing. So you see she got parkour and stuff. So some of the side stuff is gonna be let me try to get up there first. So I'll show y'all one of the things. Oh, this is like, oh, this is not it. This is the
entirely sure.
wisdom thing. Is this? Yeah, this is one of the challenge things. Okay, so this is one of the things you have to beat a boss. So they got challenge stuff like this. They got a running one, and then they got one that you gotta beat the boss in the time limit. So this is one of the extra things you can do.
Let's just go for it.
Best not to overthink these things,
See, you gotta beat the boss in the time limit. So it has some cool stuff.
Do something.
Okay.
And then she's weak against this boss is weak against
I
this.
don't mind. Keeps me on my toes.
You can restore your health with down. You see that?
Think we might need to take a step back.
I could put it all together.
No.
See, I died. So that's what happens when you die.
Are you gonna give it another go?
Guess so.
So you see this it has a lot of challenge stuff like this, and you beat the boss and you get a specific upgrade on it.
All right. Let's just go for it.
Best not to overthink these things,
Oh. Try this side.
Look out.
See, there's a lot of enemies too. The combat is pretty decent, as you can see. It has a targeting thing too.
That kind of magic requires more range.
Kind of guessed that already.
So you can see that's pretty much it with the game, man.
No.
Like I said, like my main opinion of this game, honestly, like you see, the graphics are good. There's extra stuff you could do all over the world. This also have a little speed running thing too, that you just run and before the time start, so the time finishes, and there's another one you beat all the enemies before the time. So it has little stuff like that and collectibles. Do I think the game is worth $70? No, I don't think the game is worth $70. I honestly think this game, you should get it if it's on sale. If it's on sale, you should get it. Not to say that it's a bad game. I think the game is mid, it's decent. I will give my score for this game will be a 6 out of 10. Like, it's not bad, but it's not great. And it does feel like they rushed the game a little bit. As you can see, it's really empty. This whole map is super empty. Not a lot. They could have definitely added a little bit more stuff to the game, but I think the game is not bad. I think if y'all want, y'all could get this game on sale. You know what I'm saying? Whenever it's sale. But it's not a bad game. Like, I think this game gets a lot of unwarranted hate. But like I said, it's also it's not amazing. It has its issues. Like with the world, combat gets repetitive after a while. The story is really short. The story is like kind of like whatever. Also, when it comes to the side missions are kind of whack in the game. The only side missions I ran into was like stuff that you gotta take pictures of different places in the game. But in general, the game doesn't really have a lot of side missions like that. Like most of the side missions I did was just somebody just talking to you for a little bit, and then the side mission was over. So that's one of the issues I found with the game when it comes to like the stuff in the game. But like I said, man, the game has nice graphics. The combat is literally the best thing about the game, and the parkour is cool. But other than that, you know, besides, you know, the collectibles and all the extra challenge stuff for people that really enjoyed this game. So there's a lot of stuff to do after you beat the game, or if you don't want to beat the game, if you want to just do all the side stuff. But I feel like it's one of those things you really have to enjoy the game to want to do all that extra stuff, because it's not mandatory to do all the extra stuff, but it does make you stronger at the game, and it'll make it easier for you to beat the game. But yeah, that's it for this game. That's my review. The game, I give it a 6 out of 10. You know, wait for a sale. Shout out to sqaureenix for the for definitely approving me the code. Yeah, and if you guys want to see more reviews, let me know. I'm gonna review Midnight Suns soon, because I also beat that game. And so check out my my Twitch. My Twitch is fightinggm_tekken. My Twitter is fightinggm. My TikTok is fightinggm, and my Instagram is also fightinggm. So everybody, thanks for watching my review, and I see you guys next time. And also, this game only has 12 chapters, so it's not that long, only 12 chapters. And the first chapter takes place in New York. Like I said, this game will be a lot better to me if it took place all in New York with this magic stuff. I think the game will be dope, because New York looks beautiful in the game. It looks beautiful. There's a lot of stuff in the city, and it's cool to look at how New York looks in the game. Y'all see it when y'all first start playing the game. Y'all see that how New York takes place. But on that note, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.